Hey, hey, it's almost that time, you guys. I saw you, Aldo. Es casi la hora de empezar. Ya, casi, casi, casi. As green. Hopefully it helps. Let's see what happens. Because there's only so much a juice can do, right? Come on, juice. All right, welcome to Xuanzang's Tower. It's that time again, that magical time of the week where we get together to explore some of the most profound ideas in old books, in old Asian philosophical literature, and some of it less old than others. But this particular book that we're looking at today is the book that I'm working on translating. I feel like it's funny to refer to it as my book because it's really Arya Nagarjuna's book with a commentary by Gyaltsab, two incredible thinkers from the past couple thousand years, translated by really Geshe Michael Roach with some input by me, maybe. Let's see how fast I can progress at this whole learning thing. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm learning a lot along the way. So I have prepared a quiz for you all. As always, special thanks to Worldview Productions. Special thanks to all of you who are interpreting. Special thanks to Lindsay for helping us out and all of the regional coordinators. And extra special thanks to Geshe Michael, who's on a plane right now. So we're going to do this class together. And then after this class, I will lead you or answer your questions, let's say. I will do a Q&A for those Mixed Nuts and Xuanzang's Tower participants who are interested to stick around for that. Um, Here comes the homework. Oh, there we go. Okay, I did all fill in the blanks, okay?
Mm. It's like
Uh,
Mad Libs. We just give you a noun, an adjective, a verb.
I thought about including that actually for those of you who know what Mad Libs is. I thought about putting noun or adjective. I think it's all nouns, so that makes it easy. I'll fill in the blanks. We will all fill in the blanks, and it's really just variations on the same theme because the my last class, I mean the last section that we covered before this class is basically just we were just kind of talking about the same idea over and over. It might be a little confusing because we had a class on my text recently. That class was from an earlier section of my book. So this homework is covering the work on my text, on this text that we covered two classes ago. So if you can follow that, then you might be able to answer some of the questions on this homework. Um,
February 24th class.
Correct.
Mm.
February 24th. So let's try. Let's see. Let's see what we got. I'm sure that some people at least took notes from way back when. Practitioners of the middle way do claim that certain things don't exist, and due to this, some people call them blanks. Anybody want to take a guess? This will help us remember what we were talking about at that time. Because they claim that some stuff doesn't exist, We might call those people the people who make that claim
Mm. The
something.
chat is alive with right answers.
Oh, good. Okay, fantastic. Why is everybody so into chatting but not into uh speaking up? Anyway, great. I'm sure in Ina's case it's because she's translating.
Mm.
Yes.
There are
And
multiple types of people in the world.
yes. Blue. Okay. Yes, great. Nihilists. Because they say stuff doesn't exist, they're nihilists. We might say that, or someone might say that. But if that's the case, and this is the argument that Nagarjuna is making, then based on the fact that they don't say that blank don't exist, you have to call them blank. And so to be able to fill in both, you might have to remember what we were talking about. I see some smirks, like you guys know the answer. Go ahead and speak up or chat up. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm on Ina's side.
Things, yeah, that's a good guess. It's actually 360 degrees from what you said, Paula, but they didn't phrase it like that. That's why it's plural.
Cause and effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, good.
Mm.
Who said that, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Nice. We would call them what?
Realists.
Good. Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. We answered a homework question. What is the ancient West Chinese language words for nihilists? Yeah.
Nepamala or something?
Close. It's even cuter than that, but that's
Oh,
really.
that's messy. Pala, Nepapas.
Mhm. And realists?
You, Papa.
Yeah, good. You papas.
Yo papa.
You papa. Mi papa, you papa. Tu papa. Uh, when accused by lower school practitioners of denying cause and effect, Nagarjuna explains that the something relies upon unmistaken cause and effect. The chat is surprisingly sleeping with no answers.
Morality.
No, that's really good though. That's a good guess. It's something really cool. Yeah, good, Udpala. She got it. Reaching enlightenment. Or in fact, he says the path to matchless enlightenment.
Mm.
Good. He says that Nagarjuna explains that the path to matchless enlightenment relies upon unmistaken cause and effect. And he probably means the unmistaken teaching on cause and effect. Um, or cause and effect which cannot fail. Anybody want to take a shot at the old language for
Lama
like,
Mepe Lam or something?
say it again? Yeah, good.
Like,
You got it. Yeah.
oh, great.
Sorry. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, Upala put exactly what it says in the text. Yeah. Lana Mepe Junction Topalam or Topelam.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Mm.
Okay. And he then goes on to make the point that practitioners of the middle way blank themselves with cause and effect. Any guess? This was unexpected. That's a hint.
Mm.
It
Pala
was,
said adornment.
yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good guess. It wasn't that. It was something even more um, Diamond Way-ish. It was Diamond Way.
Mm.
Yeah, good. Empower themselves. They empower themselves
Cool.
with cause and effect. I thought that was a really beautiful idea about the middle way because he's really kind of trying to affirm the fact of how passionate the middle way practitioners really are about cause and effect, and that they, or dare I say, we would never discount Cause and effect. Tibetan. Wang. Yeah, that's right, Gibson. There's a more complete version of the phrase used here. Or his word.
Mongirwa,
Yeah, very close, Ben.
Mongirpa. Mhm.
Very close vowels. Vowel consonant. Okay. 5, 4. I always count down when Amelie won't listen to me. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh.
Yes, good. You got it. Venerable Upala for the win with this homework. Wankorwa. Wankorpa. I think it was Korwa, but whatever. Who can ever remember such things? Probably many people. I can't.
Upala, for example.
Wankorwa. Wankorpa. Good. Okay. We nailed that. I'm going to stop sharing for a second while I find the next part of this class. Wow, cool. That was like the fastest we ever got through one of my homeworks. Not that it's a race, but it's a race. All right. Oh, I'm fixing the spelling of one thing. Okay. So, boom. I have to turn my chat back on. There we go. So I can see all your wonderful contributions to class. So, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think I did. Geshe Michael's on a plane right now, where we will not be blessed with his all-knowing presence, which makes this infinitely harder, or at least more challenging. And it also means that we can totally have some fun together, the mixed nuts and all of the you dear Xuanzang's Tower participants in going through this text. And I know that my text is typically not too hard. I see enthusiasm from Utpala and Tim. And Gibson, I know you're enthusiastic just by virtue of being alive and smart. And anybody else who wants to chime in, I know many of you have been studying hard. So here we go. So just a reminder, we just finished a whole section where we were talking about, why practitioners of the middle way aren't really nihilists or realists. We're trying to talk about why beyond whether things exist or not. And now we've got to another section, which I think we translated this last class, but be fun maybe for somebody to translate this, somebody who's here other than me, who I know knows what it means. So I'm going to look at the
Third.
word.
I said third.
Oh, that's good. Oh, good. Yes, that rhymes with your name. So I thought you were calling on yourself. I was like, damn, Word is so used to calling on people in his classes. He just called on himself.
Word will do it.
Nick, do you want to make someone read?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Hey, Word, why don't we pick one of your people to read?
Word.
Word, you have to
Hey,
read.
wait a minute.
Please read. I'll
I'll read this one because it's funny. Sumpa taja sangeki tongmong mayinpe kechu su tempani.
Okay, and I know that you could translate this with these, but why don't you pick one of your students who you think has a good chance of translating this?
Ooh, good idea. Sushumna's translating. Hold on.
I heard that. Yeah.
That's
That was,
allowed.
that was a cute squeak.
Yeah. Let me see who's here. I'm looking. Where are my students? Gibson can translate it. I taught him stuff. Gibson, you do it.
All right, what's it say, Gibson?
The third one, Tajang, doesn't get away from the extreme.
Yeah, good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sangeki tunmong mayimba.
Tumuma uh, the Buddha which is not sure.
Yeah. I guess you have to translate the
The
whole thing.
path.
Okay, what's a tempa?
Then by the teaching, it
Yeah.
shows. Yeah.
So the teaching, no, it's the teaching. You're right. The tempa.
Okay.
K, which is K. The teaching, which is
Teach the attribute,
yeah, good.
feature. Yeah.
Yeah. The feature which is tungmong mayimba.
Which is not sure.
Yeah, or unique. We usually
Unique.
say.
Yeah.
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 Unique.
Okay, good. Of the Sangye.
Of the Buddha.
Yeah, and in this case, we're talking about Buddhist teachings, which is that it's Tadrel.
Tajang is away from the extreme.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. So
Thank you.
this is a demonstration that it's a unique feature of the Buddhist teaching to be free from the extremes. This is the third part, sorry, Sumpa, the third part of Gyaltsabje's outline here. Here we go. Some verses that I took a shot at. And usually, let's take a look at them. I feel like what I try to do sometimes, and perhaps against the advice of my teacher who knows way better than me. Sometimes what I try to do is I take a rough shot at the verses and then I'll do the commentary and then go back and redo the verses. And what you guys get to see right now is my kind of rough, very rough attempt at translating these verses with the understanding that I will go back and redo it after I do the commentary. And personally, I do it this way because it'll give me, I don't know, because it'll give me some idea of what the commentary is explaining. And then when I work on the commentary, then it gets clearer and clearer. And then I can kind of go back and forth between the verses and the commentary until I have my closest approximation of a translation of something. So let's see. Let's read it. Someone who's not translating into their language. How about Ivo? Do you want to try? Do you read this language?
He's translator now.
She is? Oh, I thought she wasn't talking. Only the translators have their cameras turned on, so this isn't fair. Sugang, are you here? I'll read this first verse for you while somebody else gets ready. Kangsak pung por mawa yi, jikten jangchen uk chuk tang, geme chela gelte shik, yemen depa manandri. So it looks like this first line is something about people who proclaim parts or proclamations that people are their parts. And I think it's more like people who proclaim parts. So I think that my first line translation is not quite right. I think it's more like people who assert parts.
Mhm.
Okay. Jikten Jangchen Ukchukdang. So these two lines I did. Oh yeah, Jikten Jangchen Ukchukdang. Detailers and enumerators of the world. So I think it's more saying something like worldly people, like enumerators, Zhangchen. So for those of you who have been with us for a while, you remember studying Ben Kramer's translation of the Siddhanta text, and where we studied these guys, the Zhuangchens. And Uktruk, I believe, is another name for the detailers. Vaisheshikas? Yeah, Vaisheshikas.
I think so, yeah.
Right, Ben? Yeah, it's like the owl school or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, there's a guy named Kanada who's
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes gets called the Owl, and then maybe he's a teacher of the Vaisheshikas, the detailers. That sounds right.
I was hoping that would align with what you
I think
thought.
so.
Um, so I think I think these are two separate groups, the Zhuangchens and the Uktruks.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the Gumeiches. And I'm a little confused by this part, and I think we'll need the commentary, but I'm open to your ideas. Gumeiches are the people who go without clothes.
Yeah, I think that's Jane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Gyaltse Sheik, I think they're just saying if those guys. Yime Depa Mana Tree. So tree is like ask.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is it like ask those guys if they say, if their teachings or if they say stuff that is beyond existence or non-existence?
Boy, this is where you want commentary.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, this is my provisional, right? And I know it's
Yeah.
going to change. So I just
Can
said,
you
ask.
show the Sanskrit too, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great. Cool. Oh,
This
yeah,
is-
that's fun.
Here's a mouthful.
Yeah. There's Sankhya.
Here's the Pudgala.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Putgala, right? There's Sankhya.
Samkhya.
Yeah.
Grunta. Recognize that word. Skanda. That's Pungpo. Pungpo is Skanda. Let's see. Percha Lokam. Here's the Jikten Lokam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Because I'm sharing my screen, I have a harder time seeing the list of everybody in the class right now. Let's see.
That's why I would just make Word do it.
A word, can you pick on someone?
Or beg him kindly to do it. To find one of his
Yeah, I can.
peoples.
I said, yeah.
1 second. I'm looking.
Mm.
All right.
Also,
Perfect.
Fine choice.
Can you read the Tibetan here?
Dechir sangi nam kini. Tempa chi me yo me le. Ndepa sap mo ndi shepa. Chuki kupa yin she yi.
Thank you. Nice. And call on whoever you want, whoever's out there.
okay.
Don't limit it to people who you know can read it. Therefore, H here. This is my guess here. Therefore, the deathless teaching of the Buddhas, Sangye Nam Kini, Tempa Chime Yimele. We'll see if this is really the way the verse goes. Beyond existence and non-existence. Yime Lendepa. Okay, Yime Lendepa. So Lendepa is like going beyond that thing. And I'm translating here beyond existence and non-existence, beyond Yime, existence and non-existence. Ya being existence and me being non-existence. Sabmo. Oh wow, interesting. Beyond, I did it differently than that, but let's see. Yemele. I said they're the one and only teaching. Chucky Koopa that explain Shepa this the profound Samo Depa transcendence. So that's weird. I don't agree with my translation there. I think it's more like Yeme Len Depa Samo, this profound teaching which is beyond existence and non-existence. Because he explained it basically. I think it's more something like therefore the teachings of the Buddha is so cool because it's a deathless teaching that is beyond existence and non-existence, which explains the profound. Yeah, that's more like it. Well, let's see. Let's check the commentary together. Oh, here's Geshe Michael's note. Kupa, which comes in the last line of the verse here. He says that's Yautaka, which means a gift, or he seems to think it's a present to be made at a bride at her marriage. It's a great gift. So it looks like this is supposed to be something here like the gift of that Dharma, which is explaining the profound or something like that. But this is certainly where we need a commentary.
I know just where to find one.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, Word, you got someone for me?
Yes. Kimchi.
Kimchi. Aha, she came back.
Yeah.
Top of the world right now. Right here.
Sang ghế nam ký ni thén bá chí mê túc xí gỗ phàng giá ngén lê đế bá tế quầy lém ý mít ba dơ mê lê đát bá rơ phê thá thám chế thà rếu sắc hoa sắc mơ sẽ bá thế nhí sán ghế ký chớ ký thúc bá thung móng bá dín bá sẽ bá ghi xích.
Nice.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Yeah, thank you for that. That was great reading. All right. Let's see if we can figure something out here. I took a shot at translating it a little while ago. So Shepar Gi Shik, and it ends.
Best get it.
Yeah, you better get it. I said we must understand, trying to be nice, but I think it's more like a command than like a we must. I think it's more just like understand.
You best recognize.
Yeah, recognize. I like that actually. That might understand that the teachings, let's see, Gishi. So what I did in this particular case is I took the verb, which, as many of you know, is at the very end of a pile of words. And this is how I understand this language. It's like a big pile of words with a verb at the end. So I took the verb in this case, and then I went all the way back to the beginning and made a sentence out of it. Understand, Shepard Gishik, that the teachings of the Buddha, Sangye Nam Ki Ni Tempa Chime. This is just how I did it, but tell me if you guys think that the syntax implies otherwise. Understand that the teachings of the Buddhas set us on the path which grants us the deathless nectar of the state beyond all grief. So here they qualified chime, which was in the root text, right? With dutsi. Dutsi is the Sanskrit word amrita, right? Amrit. So chime dutsi is like the full way in this language to say deathless nectar. It's like dutsi nectar without death, chime. Gopang. Anyone want to tell me what it means?
The state of enlightenment.
Yeah, good. In this case, it's just this. I said the state beyond all grief. Gopang Yang and Le Depa. Terwe Lam Gimikpa. I was struggling with this mikpa here, because the word typically means object, but it felt really kind of clumsy to throw the word object in here. So what did I do? The explanations of the Buddhas. Here we go. Shepa. Although I'm just now looking at this and realizing that this she here is probably Gyaltsab J saying that this is what the root text is saying. I didn't fit that into my translation here. But you guys take your time to take a look at it and see if you think that this she is in fact that.
I think, right, she often, since it's the root text as a whole, I would guess that she is probably explaining the word sabmo, like when he says sabmo, when he says profound, she.
Yeah.
That he's talking about that which is free of the elaborations of existence and non-existence.
Yeah.
That's the meaning of profound here, I think.
Yeah,
That's
I think
why
you're
he's
right.
saying she after Samo.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, totally. And it looks like I just skipped that altogether. But probably because I just blocked it out. I skipped the word Samo in my translation here. Yeah.
I think I also want to say that to work backwards from the end again a little more, like what you should know, what you should, shape our shik, is what it is that is tumong mayimba. What is special about this gift, this gifted teaching, right? The chiki kupa, this whatever treasure gift, right? This special treasure that is this teaching of the Buddha. What, right? That this is to understand what it is that's so special about the Buddha's teaching is I guess, right, specifically explained, like Shepa Deni, right? It's exactly in explaining what's profound about it or something. I don't know. Like I don't know how those are connected, but Sabmo She Shepa seems to be that somehow like by the fact that he explained this profound thing,
Yeah.
which is that.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, I think it's saying something like that. What's special about these teachings is that they are profound in the sense that they are free of any elaboration, or that they're profound in the sense that they explain freedom from elaboration of, that things have any of the extremes, and they're thus beyond existence and non-existence.
And I
that
think right, seeing that is the path, right? Lam yi mepa yupa yume lendepe.
oh,
Like
that's
seeing
yeah. Mikpa is seeing here. Yeah, that's good. That makes sense.
yeah, right. Seeing that uh that freedom of elaboration, right? Which goes beyond thinking of things as existing or not existing in the sense of um not coming from us, or meaning that taking care of people doesn't matter, that when you see that the path somehow balances, that you understand the world is coming from you at the same time that you could never think that it doesn't matter how we take care of one another, that you see that that is the path, that understanding, I assume.
Then what is Tarawa doing?
Yeah,
Tara,
great.
looking.
Yeah, that's
That
right. A treasure again, right? Like this is
Isn't it a verb?
no, I think
or yeah, like to give, to like gift, to bestow, right? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think I wrote set us on the path in this case.
Mhm.
Set us on the path.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But my guess is that Kupa and Terwa are like
Yeah,
echoing each other here,
I think
right?
so. Yeah. Yeah. It
Especially because this gift, right, is like this deathless nectar, right? Chi me dutsi.
Right. Yeah. Well, the state of
Yeah,
which
but I see.
is the state beyond all grief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're on the right path. I mean, I think with what we've talked about so far, I could construct a pretty accurate translation. Alex is asking here, does without elaboration mean, seeing emptiness directly or an intellectual understanding of the nature of things? The way that this pair, meaning Nagarjuna's old books and Gyaltsab J commenting on it and how much they use the term without elaboration, I think that it could mean, I think they use it pretty loosely, like where you can interpret it either as an intellectual understanding or the direct perception of emptiness. But because his point over and over again is he's kind of equating Trudrel, like, being free of elaboration with just the true nature of reality. So, yeah, I guess it seems like he's usually making reference to arias and so forth as
But
seeing
also
things
like
as being.
elaboration and wrong conception or something are almost synonymous. And so an intellectual understanding of emptiness almost implies like a an elaborative understanding of emptiness, right? Where you have an idea of emptiness, right? It's a conception of emptiness. And so it seems to me, especially saying freedom from elaboration and using the word lam, path, that it is, my sense is it's exactly describing the direct perception of emptiness here, because there is no elaboration, and it is a lam, it is a path. And it's nice that this is like I don't know, it's like a nice description or elaboration, if you'll excuse me, on the idea that that this is what a path is in Buddhism. The path to Buddhahood, the path to nirvana is understanding, and then an understanding which is not wrapped up in thinking things exist or don't exist in the wrong ways.
Right on. Yeah. And yeah, he's going deep here. He's talking about nirvana. He's talking about transcending it, transcending the idea that things exist or don't exist. So everything here is probably referring to the highest state of mind. Okay, cool. Anybody else have anything to say about this passage? All right. I see somebody waving. You just turn on your mic if you want to. All right. Let's see. Let's do a little more, and then we can maybe go back and look at the verses of the root text if we have time. Who would like to read? Alex Rowland, would you like to read?
Uh-oh. Okay, wait a second. I'm on my phone. Let me see if I can find the text somewhere here.
Oh, no. No, if you won't be able to.
Maybe not, but let's not. Thank you.
Okay. Word, can you pick somebody?
Sure. Let's see.
And then think of somebody else to read the next one.
Okay.
Please. I'll keep asking you because I can't see who's here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Elva maybe wants to read?
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm here. Tí lệ sinh là tung mong in minh về chú đi mẹ bà để chữ thế yang rang thế cả chích thắng sinh đề theo chữ cảm giác thế su yun bà ma hòa thắng. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. All right, let's see what we got here. Dile Shenla Tungbong Minpa. So delay, I'm thinking is something like based on that, or and in that way, Shenla Tungmong Minpe Che. This all goes together. Di me ba. Sorry. Oh. Sorry, Shenla Tungmong Minpa. Does anybody know what this means?
I liked your first, I like in your paragraph, it seemed like you put Dile Shen together.
You're right. I did. Yeah.
And I agree with you.
Yes, I agree with me too. Now. I did then too. Delay. So it's a comparative lay. Comparative. So D being this, lay meaning like this in this case. Shen La Tung Meng Wenpa. So there is no other teaching which is unique like this.
Yeah, from MEPA working back, right? MEPA, there is no
this teaching unique.
Teaching like that. That's unique. Other than that, that's unique in that way, I guess.
I guess so. And because of that, Let's see. Day cheer. Here's my because of that. And therefore, day cheer. Day. So here we go. Taeyang Rang Day. So what's Rang Day Kachik mean?
Turkeys from our side.
Yeah, specifically turkeys from our side, from our schools. And Shende.
Turkeys from other sides.
Yeah, people who follow other schools. Pelchair.
The majority of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I took this to mean some of the people within our own schools and the majority of people from other schools. Because I don't know, I thought it might be weird to say like the majority of people in our schools think that things exist substantially. So he may be saying that.
Could be. Yeah, he might be.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right, because Kachik literally means some.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Rangde Kachik Tong.
Kachik, yeah.
De Pelcher. Yeah, that's a nice word. Right. The Pelcher goes with the Shen and the Kachik goes with the Rang. That's great.
Yeah, nice. And I think that is what I was thinking at the time. I was like, oh, just one mouth from our school. Okay, Gansakze. So people, Gangsaks, they are Zesu Yiparmawas. What are Zesu Yiparmawas?
Yeah.
Food
They say
policies?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
They
good.
say
Yeah.
stuff exists substantially. What is what do we mean by substantially, generally, and or in this case, Nick?
This is the first time this word has come up in this book. So I think has seemed to mean in some of the books we were studying that it means that things have parts and that things have atoms. Things have very real parts that they're based upon.
Substantial can mean like 6 different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It depends on what school you're talking about.
It does.
I think I'm thinking back to Upala's book, which was using substantially a lot at some point in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I
She
think
had a deep dive on substantial.
Yes, and 7 years, she says. It was 7 within sometime within the last 7 years. We talked
But
about
who's counting?
substantiation. We would never translate with the word substantiation, or unlikely to. Okay, so I think that's pretty straightforward.
I mean, roughly, I don't just for the kids at home. I mean, is that wrong? Are things not made of stuff?
Oh, I see. According to people within Rang days that are not Kachiks, like middle way practitioner would say that things are made of other things, but not ultimately. Like that's not the most profound way that they exist. Like here's one to chew on. It's a middle way practitioner, as I understand it, would say that it's true that things are made of parts, but they would just go a bit deeper and say that the parts are also made of parts and those parts are made of parts and nothing. The further you dive, you'll never find the partless part that is the part to end all parts. And that everything is made of other things until you go far enough and you realize that there's always this very important ingredient that is the projected image from your mind, which is coming from a karmic seed that you planted based on how kind or unkind you were with others.
And this is like our critique of people who think that you are the parts of your body.
Yeah, specifically, we're talking about Pungpoists. Heapists.
So what am I in some way that helps me in some uniquely Buddha taught way, if I'm not my body and mind? right? Like these jerks, the turkeys, most of these turkeys, most of the other guys, and even some of our turkey guys seem to think essentially, right, that I am my body and mind.
I mean, most of us probably think that, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do a little.
I think I do, yeah, most of the time. If not, if I'm ever thinking about it.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, come on. Well, what's wrong with it is it makes you a Parmawa.
Well, maybe I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I guess a little bit I do, but how am I better off
Well,
not thinking that?
yeah, according to the middle way, if you think that things are made of stuff, then at some point you're stuck being a turkey. But if stuff's not made of stuff, if stuff isn't made of things, which are final, but rather can infinitely be broken down until you can get to the point where you realize that they all include a component that is emitting from the seeds in your mind that you have, then you potentially won't be a turkey one day. You have then you have the power to be vegetarian, to not be a turkey.
Great. Yeah, that's better. Right. For those substantialists who believe you are what you eat.
Exactly. If you think you truly exist and you truly want to harm those who harm you, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good point too. Yeah. If you think that your parts are real and somebody's trying to hurt you, then you'd probably try to hurt them first or back. Also a very good point. Problem with substantialism. A problem with thinking that things exist substantially. Great point.
Yeah. And I guess like you would also feel like sort of like stuck with your lot in life, stuck with what you're stuck with this body and this mind, stuck with the way things are because you are your body and mind. And so whatever you got in the body and mind lottery, that's your deal. That's what you're stuck with because if those things are what they have to be, then it doesn't depend on the way that you see them. And then on the other hand, if it does depend on the way you see your body and mind, see your lot in life or something, see your problems that I don't know, maybe you can not have to see them as problems, or you could even see uh, a a life that benefits you instead of a life that pains you, and you could still be looking at the same life. We could be looking at the same life, the same experience side by side, and one person says, "Oh, you're so lucky," and the other person says, "Oh, my life's such a pain." And
That's what I meant by turkeyists. You don't
the turkeyists.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
That's a good translation of Zesuya Barmawas. Okay. Here we go. Let's try to get a little more because we've got only a few minutes left. And then we will continue this discussion for another 15 minutes purely about practicality, which is what you're going into. Zeyuki Pungpormawa yi chiktempa tedak chudra sabmo mawa mebe chirdang. Let's see what I translated that as. Because these worldly people who profess that the parts of a person exist substantially do not teach the profound idea that things are free of elaboration. So here we're referring back to the root text, talking about why is the teaching of the Buddhas something that is unique, and it's because it doesn't teach, because other, I guess, jiktempas or worldly people they talk about things existing substantially as the parts of a person. Ze ye ki pung por mawa. Mawa is like somebody who says, they go around saying, pung por, that they are the parts of us, our body and mind. Ze ye ki, substantially. Dedak trudrel samamawa mepa. There are no mawas or professors, meaning people who claim the profound absence of elaboration. These guys don't do that. Dadocs. These don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't say that. So that's why the teaching of the Buddhas was something so special. And it makes sense. I mean, if you study some of this other stuff, there really aren't, as far as I know, any other philosophical schools of that time that go around saying that none of these parts of a person exist substantially. I think everybody landed on something as existing substantially. So, yeah, this is what we're discussing, the unique features of the teachings of Buddhas. Cool.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, it is one of the things that attracted me to want to learn more about this particular lineage of teachings, because I found it fascinating that the deeper you dive, the more that you can wrestle with the idea that the thing you thought was there is not there. And I mean, in my life, that was just the most true thing I think I had ever come across philosophically. Here's a little more. Where do you want to have somebody read again? Do you have someone in mind?
Yeah, how if she's still here? I don't know if she's. How are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, will you read, please? Thank you.
Yeah. Rang rong she kya she cha ham che ni shu sa nga che ba ra we de che su rang wei rang chen pa tang.
Great. Thank you. And for those of you who are learning to read, this crazy looking word is ma. It's pronounced ma. Kind of confusing. So Ben, you can stop me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that they're referring to Kapila.
Yeah, right.
Xuanzang
means the sage. It's literally like seer, right? Rishi. Rishi.
Rishi. Yeah.
Yeah. Rishi, right? Yeah.
Great sage Kapila taught that all existing things can be categorized into 25 divisions, right? Nishu Tsanga.
Yeah, right.
Che Paramawe. Okay, so whoops. Sorry. Something's popping up on my computer. So I'm just trying to break this down. So Zhongsang Sirkya is the great sage Kapila, or the great seer Kapila. Sheja Tamche. So Sheja is, if you've been studying with us for a while, you know that this comes up in Adam's texts a lot. It's just one way to say stuff, all stuff.
The known universe.
Yeah, the known universe. That's a great way to put it, because it's literally what it says. Things that you know with your mind. Tamche, all of them. Nishu Tsanga, 25. Che, I think it's like kind of like divisions, divided into.
Yeah.
Paramawe. So these are professors of the 25 parts. Professors of all stuff being divided into 25 parts. So therefore, De Jesu, followers of him, Jesu Drangwei, they called them Drangchenpas, counts, the counts. For those of you who don't know, there's a fun show called Sesame Street for children, where there's a count who counts everything, including turkeys. So I said numerous. Is that where you landed, Ben, in your book?
I think that's right. I think that's what we ended up saying.
All right. And I put a little number here. It happens to be 26, which means I'm going to find some kind of footnote. What did I say? Something interesting from Ben's first book. I didn't do it yet. Okay. Give me a break. I'm working hard over here, but I didn't. I'm going to do that next. But I thought actually, sorry.
He explains it pretty well here. I mean, I think it's always nice to cross-pollinate. You don't have to say a lot else, but you can say, hey, go find more information in the other fine works of the mixed nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to put all 25 divisions in a footnote.
No, you could just send them to go buy the book.
That's probably what I'll do. Although in the past, some of our books do have things like we'll just include the 25 divisions in a footnote.
You could. I mean, some of them, they're a little bit intuitive. You could just say like 5 senses and 5 elements and 5. Oh, good. The count is in the chat.
I see that now. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should be on the cover of your book.
Such a good idea, or at least in the Sankhya section.
Yeah. An illustration. Okay.
Oh, I missed that guy.
The illustrated Siddhanta. Yeah, Amelie's still kind of into that show, so it's pretty good.
That's one of the few pictures known still available of Kapila.
Something you have to look forward to, Word, as your baby grows into television age. Okay, so that's it for attempting translation together today. Good captioning that as the great sage. But we can keep the discussion going. I'm not going to keep the text open unless anybody feels the need to reference a particular part. But we can just talk about this a little bit. Talk about anyone want to share thoughts? It's mostly been me and Ben talking about practical aspects of this or just how this understanding affects us. But what do you guys think? Do you think it could be useful in everyday life to investigate whether or not we are substantially our parts? Do you think there's something unique and special about exploring the idea that that maybe our parts aren't atoms? Does it seem like we are our parts and that our parts can be divided into small atoms or instances? Did anyone ever get that feeling? I think it seems like it. To me, it like really seems like my body could be reduced. Yeah, that is what we're taught in school. That's what Upala says. And that's true. We learn from an early age that our physical bodies can be reduced to atoms, or at this point in time, subatomic particles. Oh, there's a little dog in here. I've never seen this dog in my house before. Okay. Speaking of small parts. Okay. I wanted to get it to show you, but it ran away. Yeah, you didn't. I didn't have subatomic particles when I was in elementary school, but when I got to college, I studied a lot of physics. And then I took modern physics as well. So we studied all those ideas, subatomic particles, etc. And even the physics involved with, the mathematical equations involved with calculating subatomic stuff, which is really interesting. And most of you probably are aware of this, but when you get into the mathematical equations that describe the subatomic world and anything quantum, it's all probability. The equations are all probability equations. They're not, according to math, nothing is fixed. Everything is based on probability. So, I mean, so even in that, come here, little tiny dog. Even in that basic, I think this dog's name is actually Tiny Dog. Maybe we are made up of lots of tiny dogs. I feel like I could do a better job of leading this discussion to somewhere, but that's a good idea, Alex, and I doubt.
I was thinking of this debate we had years ago at Diamond Mountain, where you could trick somebody by talking about whether things were different or the same. And so people say, like, oh, I'm a different guy from the guy who had this discussion. Or the guy who started this discussion is a different guy than the guy who's at the end of the discussion. And like, yeah, that's true in a way, but it's also nonsense in a way, or I wouldn't remember the earlier discussion. If you say you're not the same person who entered the room, then like you can't walk across the room. So of course you're the same person who entered the room, but in a way you're different than the person who entered the room. So are you the same or are you different? We have this tendency to like see things in extremes, like to think that sameness and different are opposites somehow. In fact, for a thing to change, it has to stay the same in the sense of having the same name. Or you can't say it changed. You can't say there's a thing that changed unless there's a thing that keeps getting called thing that's different at one time than it is at another time. There are a lot of these dichotomies, right? Extremes that we get ourselves wrapped up in. Is a sprout a tree, says Utpala. Well, in a way, the sprout is the thing that became the tree. But do you know that the percentage of the biomass of a tree that came from the sprout is so small? Mostly a tree is cellulose, carbon, taken from the air, transformed into plant matter through the power of photosynthesis. Very little of that tree is the seed, and yet we say the seed is the thing that becomes the sprout, is the thing that becomes the tree. So which is it really? It just depends on the way you think about it. And this idea of freedom from extremes, in some ways it's useful to understand. Of course, the seed is the thing that turns into the tree. In some ways, it's useful to understand. Of course, there is so little to nothing left over of that seed. I have a son who looks conspicuously like me, and the percentage of physical material I contributed to that endeavor is so small, it's impossible, and yet undeniable. You can see it right in his otherwise handsome little face. And so am I the same or am I different? Are things, do they exist or do they not exist? Does the tree exist as a continuation of the seed, or does it not? Like, you can look at it in different ways that are useful at different times. It must depend on the way you think. It's all tricks. It's all tricks to get you to see that these things that seem to be contradictory, they're not contradictory. It just depends on the way you think. And the way you think depends on seeds, depends on habits, depends on tendencies, depends on predispositions. Are things beautiful or not? That's what I was going to say. I'm sorry. Please,
No,
you go ahead.
no, it's fun. I mean,
Yeah, are things beautiful or not?
it's great. Well, I mean, I'm glad we're having this discussion. And one thing I'm kind of hoping that we can achieve by having these mixed nuts, Xuanzang's Tower, Diamond Cutter Classics classes is to breed a caliber of students who are high, who are really thinking through some of this stuff that we're studying in a deep way. And I think the discussion that you're bringing up now, Ben, helps because I feel like there's, you have practitioners who are kind of like just embarking, and then you get really swept up in some of this like deep language, and like you're not even the same person from moment to moment. And it's like, well, that's cool and that's deep, but let's keep going, And I feel like that's kind of like that's one place to take your kind of spiritual studies and practice. But what I think is special about our classes is we're really forcing and encouraging each other to examine what the heck we really mean by that and what's the real implication, because just being mystified by stuff is not always enough. I hope that's clear what I'm saying. But what you were saying reminded me of the story of the boat. You know that one where there's like two boats, and so there's like two boats side by side, and one of them needs repairs, and there's another boat next to it that has like it's totally full of like really good wood. And then so the old boat, every time it needs a new plank of wood, they pull a piece of wood off the new boat, and they replace the pieces of wood from on the old boat with the pieces of wood from the new boat. And then, over like 20 or 30 years or something, they replace every single plank of wood on the old boat with a plank of wood from the new boat. And then you have to think like, well, which boat is it now? Like this boat that was the old boat, is it the old boat or is it the new boat? And it's kind of just like, it's another mental exercise to show you that it's whatever you label it as, really. It's not really one or the other. It's like, what
the
is
ship of Theseus?
Is that
Theseus? Ship of Theseus, I think. Yeah.
It's a cool story.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. It's the same boat. If you want to say it's the same boat, it depends on how you think about it.
Yeah, and
If
it's the seed and the sprout, that we teach in Nagarjuna so often, or that I'm hammering on a lot these days. If you watch my classes,
yeah.
Anybody
you could
else?
never have please,
sorry.
yeah, good. That'd be great. Gibson in the chat.
Oh, good. I think now there's a thing called appearance anxiety. You mean like I'm afraid how I'm going to appear really gray? Maybe it's due to that we think we are made by atomic and substantial. Then the direct way we think is to go into plastic surgery instead to go the deeper way. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. People in general are concerned about how we look. And that is certainly the cause for people undergoing plastic surgery and spending a lot of money on facial care products and whatnot. I agree. Appearance anxiety. It's probably not a new thing. I mean, maybe the name is new, but I bet you it's a good point, man. Like, I wonder if people understand emptiness, would they not risk their life with plastic surgery? Potentially. I don't know. Master Shanti Deva says it's all about not getting angry. I'll let you know if I can stop getting angry, and then we'll see if I get handsomer.
You seem pretty handsome and happy, Nick.
Hey, I don't get angry much, but let's see what Aldo says. I think it is interesting to think deeper about what is really the base of reality. Yeah, me too. Of what creates your body and what it is made of, what things are made of. Is it substantial, atoms and subatomic particles, or is there something else like kindness, how you treat others? One of the first things that I started kind of reversing in my mind when I started studying this stuff was like, I think in the Western mindset, we assume, or at least those of us who are scientifically minded, we assume that the mind is like a byproduct of the physical body. It's kind of just since Aristotle, it's kind of like taken as a given that the mind is this like byproduct of the physical, the brain or whatever, chemical interactions. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's the exact reverse. Like and this is what it seems like when you start to study yoga philosophy, and all of the stuff that is within the Buddhist teachings, that it's kind of pointing to the idea that the body is a byproduct of the mental processes. And it goes deeper than that, but I just think reversing that idea is cool. And I actually
Could you make a middle way argument that both are true?
Yeah, I think, and that's where I was going. It kind of aligns with what we've been saying, that it's not necessarily one way or the other, but it's kind of both things.
I like to think of a bridge, like an arch, where the right side of the bridge is leaning on the left side of the bridge, and the left side of the bridge is leaning on the right side of the bridge. And we want to think that that the mind depends on objects, and the lower school says that, right? That there's objects out there, and that triggers a state of mind. And then the mind only school says that somehow stuff out there only exists by leaning upon mind. And then the middle way says somehow they depend on each other, and it almost feels wrong. Like, how could they both be holding up each other? But it's not so wrong. The same thing seems almost wrong when you look at a bridge, when you look at an arch. How could the right side be holding up the left side at the same time that the left side is holding up the right side? But they are. They are. And if one was doing more of the work than the other, it wouldn't work. It would fall over.
As we saw recently. Yeah.
Yeah, right. As we have seen. Yeah, it's true.
It's like the middle way is the Keystone School.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Right, that's nice.
It's very cool. All right. Well, this is a very fun and interesting discussion. We should start a podcast. This has been a really fun class. Thank you, all you Xuanzang Tower fans and friends and supporters and participants. Please keep coming. Please subscribe to our Good Night Book Club. But mostly just keep coming and keep studying with us and become people who challenge each other to think even more deeply about the nature of reality and challenge us. We're really grateful for you all. Now, I will hand it over to Mr. Juan Hasso for the Peachtree World News. And after that, I will stick around for a 1-hour Q&A. Geshe Michael's on an airplane. So for the second hour, if you all would like to stick around, we can discuss more about this or other ideas, whatever you would like. All right. Come on, Juan. El Mustachio, as he's known as.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What? Thank you very much, Nick and Ben. And yes, you say correctly, Geshe Michael, according to our inner sources, is just flying, crossing the big ocean. And you may wonder why he's crossing the big ocean. So he was teaching in Asia, first in Kyoto and then in Shanghai. And luckily, we have special agents all over the world traveling around the globe. And we want to present you a very special person who shared with us some of the latest news that are happening in Shanghai. This person is our dear friend, Rob Haggerty. As you know, he's helping Geshe Michael as personal assistant these days. And luckily, he's also a very good friend involved with Peachtree World News. So he was sharing us these pictures that we want to share with you of this latest event in Shanghai. So we hear that there's a lot of Dharma celebrities who attended this event. You can see Jamie Lang, Masha and Peter Mortel, Jasmine Zhao, Vivian Xiaoping, Chang Tang, Stanley, Wang Xia, Geshe Michael, Seyarao, Rob Haggerty, Connie B. Who's that? Jenny Wong, Sophie Chow, Salvina, and Emily Chang. That's people I can recognize over there. And they have a great time on stage. Next picture, please. Yes, there you can see Jamie, Rob, Geshe Michael, Xiaoping translating for him. Next picture, Stanley, Chang Tang also translating for Geshe Michael. I think they have a great time. It's the first time after COVID they go to mainland China. DCI, it looks amazing. We can't wait to hear from them. How was it? And as you know, one of the jobs that Rob is doing these days is taking care of the electronics of Geshe Michael at night. At 10 p.m., he goes there, takes the computer, the cell phone. He was joking. He said this time it even includes the TV controls. And this is because the book night reading club, and we want to, as Nick was saying and Ben has said some other times, keep encouraging you to attend the classes, but of course, if you have the chance, if you can do it, also sign up for this very, very good project that is helping to preserve this ancient wisdom, to spread these ideas, and to help our lives personally, because when we give ourselves the time to read and sometimes rest from the electronics, our mind can get very many benefits. And we want to also remind you that Diamond Cutter Press has an online library where you can find a big compilation, the most complete compilation of titles translated or written by Geshe Michael. And speaking of books, we just want to remind you that our friend Alex Rowland, she's releasing a new book very, very soon. It's a book about how to use the seed system, especially mainly in the business area. You can find the QR code in the next picture. I think in winter 2024 is going to be a big publishing date, but you can start checking for more information right now in the QR code. We had an interview with her. It seems that it's a great book for like introduction for beginners who want to understand more about the system. So it may make a great gift or present for birthdays or Christmas or other occasions. May be very good. Lastly, well, not really lastly, but next, let's put it next. Yes, as you know, we have a big event about to happen in the next week. It's called Steps on the Path, the Modern Peacock Warrior. And we have a very special guest with us who wants to talk about it. Guess who is she? Paulina.
Hi, everyone.
Yes. Can you, Marina, help us to spot? Yes. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good to
Where
see
are
you
you?
all. I am in Argentina, actually, very far away.
That's
where I
very
used to be, at least.
Yeah, you were showing us the pictures of your place. As for you that may not know, Pachi, Paulina, and Shanti just moved to Argentina for some time, and they're having a great time in a very beautiful kind of, how do you say in English? Not farm, but like, how to say, casa de campo. Well, you know, field.
Ranch in the middle of nature.
Yes. So tell us, you and Pachi are helping to produce part of this event. Can you tell us what is new about, what surprises that we have for people today?
Well, as you all know now, this amazing event, amazing retreat is starting this weekend. And the big news is that we have available for everyone who wants to join the first day for free.
Wow, what day is the first day? That's Saturday?
Actually, the retreat starts April 12th.
Okay.
But the free day is going to be the next day, so you can join the whole day, the whole program of this Saturday, which is the 13th, Saturday 13.
Okay.
because unfortunately the retreat is full. We have full house right now, which is also great, but you can all join online. And yes, the first day is gonna be free, but I hope you can join. I don't know, let's stay for the whole retreat, the 10 days retreat, but I have somebody who wants to talk more about all the details. What if we invite the ACI director, global director, Tim Lowenhaupt?
Wow, is he around? Let's invite him over. Is Tim
Are you
around?
there?
Can we spotlight him if he's around? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's here.
Where are you?
Don't worry about it, Juan. I'm on assignment.
Okay, cool. It's daytime there.
Still is, yep.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit more details on this special, I don't know, deal? People can come free for the first day. They can sign up online. I think it's going to be amazing.
Right. Yeah. So the very first day on Friday evening, we're going to have a very special celebration. It's called the Offering to Our Teachers. And everybody's welcome to join that. It's a beautiful, beautiful offering where we imagine our dear teachers and we bring beautiful things to give them, even in our mind. And sometimes then at the actual celebration itself. And then the second day, as Paulina said, in addition to Geshe Michael's classes on the modern Peacock Warrior, which we're going to be talking about the six qualities of this Peacock Warrior, beginning with generosity. We're then going to be doing a whole program on Jurchu, which is called the meditation song, to teach all of you how to do a real sadhana practice, like a real daily practice that's open, and it's available for you to learn the structure and how to go into retreat. It even has a special mantra as well. And we're hoping that you all will join us that first day to learn about it. And then if you would like to join the full event, you can then sign up after that first day and learn more, go deeper into the practice. And then we'll also be giving you instructions on how to do a deeper retreat. So you could do a 3-day retreat with the rest of us in your own home.
That's wonderful, Tim. And how can people sign up for the very first day?
That's a good question, Juan. If they go to that QR code, they can sign up for the free package, the donation only package, and then they can get all the information for the free day. And then if they want to join the paid package, they can do so after day 1.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tim. Excited to be part of this event. And we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
You too. Okay, so finally, just in order to finish and go back to the Q&A with Dr. Nick Lashaw, I have been collecting some material that I had the great opportunity to visit Kyoto, and I want to share with you these things. So I prepared one more video of some very cool thing that happened in Kyoto. I want to share it with you. Geshe Michael recommend people in class visiting this special place, and here I am sharing it with you. So I hope you enjoy. You can go to the bathroom, do whatever, or watch this video. And maybe let's check if audio is possible. No audio?
I can hear it. Let me check.
Can people hear the audio? No. Well, if the audio is not working, we are almost close to the, to the time. We can save this video for next time, and we can just start a Q&A because, yeah, without the sound doesn't make more sense. It has a lot of history and talk and stuff. So we can try next time. and we just go with Nick 1 minute earlier.
All right. Well, I'm ready to go, and we can go home 1 minute earlier that way. Thank you, Juan and Alex and Pao and everybody.
No, thank you. I mean, I'm gonna share this video some other time with you. It's very cool, but for now, it's good time to go to you. I'm gonna translate into the Spanish, so I'm signing up. Thank you, Paulina, so much. Thank you, Gina, Marina, for helping us. Thank you, Aldo, Nick Lashaw, and back to you. I'm changing my gear to translate.
All right, Juan. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you, everybody,